Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a quick video about ways to use cloth while your baby has a yeast rash. Now, when Hazel developed a yeast rash due to her reoccurring thrush issues, I immediately switched her back to disposables because that's what I had done previously in the past. But since she's been in cloth so much now that she reacts to the chemicals in the diapers, and even the ones that are really expensive, such as the Earth's Best or 7th generation. So it was actually making her rash, I want to say about 60% worse, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, even with the prescription treatment. So I completely have sanitized and stripped my entire stash and rid of yeast, and I didn't really feel like doing that strip process again and again, especially with my pocket diapers and my covers, because I didn't want it to mess with the elastic and the PUL, because you have to use bleach. Even though I used like the 7th generation bleach, still, it's just too much wear and tear for me. So I started to look into alternative options, and I decided to pull out my, and start using pre-folds. I have been using pre-folds, but not as much lately. But so one option, obviously, is a pre-fold, because you can beat the crap out of these things, and, you can boil them, you can, because there's no snaps or PUL, you can wash them on the hottest water possible, because that's one thing that you have to do if you're using cloth. You really have to turn up your water heater and wash it on the hottest water possible, and dry things on high heat and or put them out in the sun. So pre-folds are a good option. And so another thing to go along with that, so I've been using these. These are the Dandelion brand, because they're very, very absorbent. This happens to be a bamboo pre-fold, but I do have cotton ones by these, and I love them. They're super absorbent, and I have a heavy wetter, so that works out well. Also, I have these fitteds that I got secondhand. These are the Muddaquin Baby. I have 5 of these. And I don't really care. I probably would not advise, unless you want to shell out the money, spending a lot of money on some fitteds that are brand new and then using the extensive wash process with them, just because they're really expensive. These I got all 5 of them for about less than $10, because there's some discoloration on the inside. Like, some of them are kind of falling apart, so I really got a good deal on them. So I don't care if these get ruined, basically. They work really, really well, but the best thing about this is that there's no cover. So it's cotton and hemp, I believe. And so this is like the next best thing to her being naked, pretty much, because the cotton will breathe. And, when you put a cover over top of it, like a PUL cover, that's going to keep all the moisture in, which is what you do not want when your child has a yeast rash. And while, bare bottom time is really, really great, this is a good option, and you can leave your baby unsupervised with this, because there's no snappy. So it's secure on your baby, and it also keeps you really in tune with your baby, because you'll be able to see if they wet to the surface, and you'll be able to change them right away, which is ideal for a yeast rash. So I've been using these with no cover. And another thing that I recently purchased that I never in a million years thought that I would buy is flats. And these are just the standard Oh So Cozy brand, and I have them already origami folded. And if you don't know what the origami fold is, you can look it up on YouTube. I'm not going to do a demonstration, because there are so many other good videos out there that show you how to do it really, really well. So, basically, this is just a standard organic cotton flat. And what I've been putting on with, I'll let her kind of not run around, she can't run around, roll around in this with a Snappy. But I supervise her with this because even Snappy says on their website that you're not supposed to leave baby without a cover with the Snappy because they can pull it off and they can hurt themselves or choke on it. So just word of the wise, but I have been letting her kind of roll around with this. And also, sometimes I'll put in my hemp doublers, and these are the Hemp Babies hemp doublers. Put it on the inside. So the origami fold has like the center, and I would just lay this either like on the inside of it. So it makes it a little bit more absorbent. Not that the flats aren't absorbent, but this just gives it a little more absorbency, especially if she's taking a nap or something. And you can also purchase flats that are bamboo or hemp. So if you're looking for something a little bit more absorbent, then you can go that route. But the other thing I want to comment about with flats is that these are the cheapest cloth diapering option possible because these run you can get them as cheap as 50 cents because it's just literally one sheet of fabric. That's all it is, and then you fold it into whatever way you want to. So definitely, if you're looking for a cheap way to diaper your baby while keeping them in cloth and something that's going to be good for a yeast infection would be a flat. The other thing too is that like pre-folds, you can boil them, and since there's only one thing, like one ply of fabric, these get cleaner so much easier. So you don't have to do as much of a extensive wash routine with these. Really what you could do is just do a normal wash and boil them, and that's it. You really don't even need to bleach these. I mean, you can if you want to, but you don't have to. So I would definitely suggest some flats. And if you don't want to spend the extra money, because hemp flats, like the Hemp Babies flats, are around $8 a piece, which is insane. The Oh So Cozy ones, I think they run about like $1.50 to $2 a piece when you buy them in the pack. You can probably get them for cheaper on like Amazon or something. But if you wanted to do this and then get something more absorbent, you can buy the doublers, which you can use, you know, in your pocket diapers or wherever else. You can get these for anywhere from $2 to $3 a piece, maybe even less. So that would be still cheaper to buy a doubler and then use a flat. So the other thing I want to comment about too is if you don't already own Snappies, I would go ahead and purchase the size 2, which is for toddlers, because Hazel is 5 months now, and she's probably like 16, 17 pounds, and she can't even wear the smallest one anymore. This is the smallest one because it's just too tight. I'll do a little bit of a comparison. They're the same color. But this one is just a little bit bigger. It's not that much bigger, but it's definitely worth it because these run anywhere from like $4 or $5 a piece. They're kind of expensive. So I would just advise getting the bigger ones. I mean, it's, you know, the size difference really isn't that much, but it's enough that it makes a difference. So just go ahead and buy the bigger ones. And you only need really like 2 of them just in case one breaks, or to alternate between the 2 so that they last longer. So you can also just use a standard pin, but these are obviously like way easier. Then there's also the Boingo little snap things. I haven't tried those yet, but I'm really interested in trying them, so I will let you know if I do try them out. And so the last thing, sorry, I gotta grab everything, is if you want to use a cover, the best option is wool. And this is something that I have wanted to try for a long time, but I didn't want to because the wool industry is really, really bothersome to me. And even though it is a natural fabric, and I know it has so many great benefits, such as being antibacterial, antimicrobial, it breathes, and it can be waterproof. So it's probably the best option for cloth diaper covers. But I just couldn't get past just, you know, buying it from a regular, you know, big manufacturer. So what I did was I went to my local thrift store and I picked up some merino wool. I mean, you can pick up anything that's at least 80% and above wool. Excuse me. But merino is going to be the softest. And so I picked up 2 sweaters and I made them into 3 covers. And one is I'm still working on. Hazel's wearing the other one. And these are some longies that I made. I mean, they're not the excuse my sewing, because I use my sewing machine for installations and art quilts, not for really like sewing and cutting things to a specific pattern. I didn't use a pattern for these, but you can look up all sorts of tutorials how to make longies, and these are just basically the sleeves. So it's really, really simple to make. You basically just use a pair of pants to kind of like guide where the crotch needs to be sewn and how tall it needs to be, and you can fold these up too. And then just added like a little bit of a drawstring. So these cost me like just a few bucks to make. So that was definitely worth the money, and I recycled and repurposed something. I also went to my local cloth diaper shop because you have to use like a special wash with them. So there it was a deal where if you bought a wool cover, you got the wash for free, and they sell work-at-home mom covers that are made from recycled wool as well. And here is, so this is like a wool soaker. It's got this cute little pattern on the back. So this is also made of recycled wool. So that would be your best bet if you want to use it overnight, or if you want to have a cover, and you're not going to have to worry about stripping these, because you do not want to strip these. You will ruin them. Naturally they breathe and they don't hold bacteria, so you probably want to wash them more regularly than you would if your child didn't have a yeast problem. So probably like once a week. With these, another thing, the great thing is you only have to wash them unless they get pooped on once every 2 weeks normally, but once every week if your child has a yeast infection. So those are the things that I've been doing, and I've been doing them only for, I would say, 2 days, and the difference between her rash from then to like just 48 hours ago to now is insane. Like, her rash is almost completely gone. I mean, she is using the nystatin prescription cream, but you only have to use that twice a day, which you can't use that on cloth, I mean, unless you use a liner. So I have been using disposables at night and like first thing in the morning just for the cream. But before, it wasn't clearing up like hardly at all, because she really, the diapers wouldn't breathe. So, and she doesn't do well in disposables. They make her rashes worse. So I put her in cloth like about 90% of the time while she has this, and it's clearing up a lot. So definitely don't be afraid of using cloth diapers when your child has a yeast infection. But you probably want to look into some alternative methods, or basically back to the basics, what your mom or your grandma used when you were little. So that's definitely the best option to go. If you guys have any questions, or you know, need something clarified, or this is going to be completely unedited. I don't even know if I babbled about something or missed something, but if you have any questions at all, just leave me a comment in the comments section, or you can send me a message and I'd be happy to answer it. So thank you so much. Bye.